Hello everybody, hello one and all, how are y'all doing? We're back with another unboxing video today in also sunny Edinburgh. Today we'll be going through the unboxing of the March of the Machine, the Aftermath Epilogue Boosters Box. This is a new micro set that has been introduced in between this present set, which is March of the Machine, and the next block set, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the Wilds of the Drain. But anyway, this little set has gotten people quite up in arms, and it's pretty understandable why, and we'll go into it just now. Thank you very much, Scotty, for your help. And as usual, I have my Lament configuration to open up this box. Now, this set is basically the an addition or a story wrap-up to the March of the Machine storyline that started with, actually, I would believe, the Brothers' War, and then continued into the Phyrexia B1, and then finished in the March of the Machine. So therefore we were really looking forward for something like this, because in a way it was similar to the idea of giving us the block of 3 expansions like it used to be before. But unfortunately, when we found out that it was released and it was fully spoiled, we figured out that it was actually only 50 cards, so it's a very small set. And you know, a lot of people are up in arms about this, mainly because the cards don't really make sense, as we will go through them. They're mainly supposedly for Commander. You can't draft it. There aren't enough cards to draft it. They've added uncommons, which make no sense because it's a macro set. You wouldn't really need uncommons, but whatever. It feels like it's kind of like some leftovers of March of the Machine that they just didn't feel like printing in that set. And they added some tie-ups with, or tie-ins with, the MTG storyline. So that's it. That's it for the intro. Now, what does this booster box hold? This booster box has 24 March of the Machine Epilogue boosters, and each booster has only 5, yes, you heard that right, 5 cards each. Right, and this is one of the main reasons why people are, or the other reasons why people are really disliking the set, because if you look at the size of this thing, it is tiny. Compared to all the other boxes that we've opened, there's nothing in here, right? And you're paying full price for this, or close to full price, depending on where you buy it. So realistically, a lot of people are not even buying this kind of products. Even seen on social media, there are some LGSs that have taken a loss on this product and were forced to sell their products at cost, just to try and recoup the costs of purchasing these products, because not a lot of people want to buy it. Now, here's the funny thing. Similar stuff had happened at the time with the Lorwyn block. Not because Magic the Gathering made a really bad fumble with the set. I think the set was really, really good. It's just at the time Magic was kind of struggling compared to what it is now, for example. And if you are trying to find any sealed or products from Lorwyn, even the cards themselves, they're very expensive overall, because not a lot of people bought those products around that time. So who knows what the future will bring for this set. Realistically, I don't think it's going to be just like Lorwyn. I think, they've printed it to demand, so they've overprinted it as usual. And you'll see that in here, if you are to look at the actual overall quantity of cards that there are only 50. But if you add up all the different versions that you can get, including the foilings of each type, because they're having the same type of treatment as March of the Machine, except for some cards only have the retro frame bordered. Because Zalfir, which is a plane that was part of Jamura in Dominaria back in Mirage block, is back now. So they're doing the Dominaria thing on it with the multicolored old border, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to check that once we open it, but it's because in the story apparently Zalfir just came back and replaced Mirrodin, and it's a plane in and of itself, even though it was a part of an area, which is Jamura, which was in the Mirage introduced in the Mirage block of the story of Magic the Gathering. So it's really convoluted. I don't know. Personally, I think this is just a cash grab for Magic the Gathering for WotC because they are only targeting collectors and Commander players. And are the two biggest moneymakers for Magic the Gathering, followed really closely by MTG Arena players. So that's it. This is my opinion. If you want my opinion, I will go on and I will open these cards. I will look into them. I have not looked at the cards proper, but I can foresee that most of the cards in here that are decent are just going to be good for very specific Commander decks, or, you know, overall it's not worth buying the products and you might as well just buy the cards proper, and that's it. And they're going to be fairly cheap now. So without further ado, let's get cracking. The box is as such. It doesn't even have the 30-year anniversary stamp anywhere on the side, so let's open it up. Let's see what we have here. We get a guaranteed foil and showcase card, and as usual, first off, thank you for tuning in with us, but we'll be trying to make a small guide about the card versions in here. Realistically, if there's a lot of overlap with the main set, we'll just explain what's different from this micro set to that one, and that's it. So if you are looking to understand what the showcase are and how it works for much of the machine, we've just released the newest guide just recently, and yeah, we hope that you enjoy it. And if you do like our videos and you want to see more of our content, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to see our content when it's uploaded. And also, if you don't like it, thumbs down and comment and let us know why you don't like it. So we get an art insert on cardboard, double-sided as usual, very cool. I love the art. Again, tiny. And then you get paper thin boosters, 24 of them. They come with a little divider, which I guess you could just do that. This is such a weird product. It reminds me a little bit of opening cards that are Japanese trading card games, and they tend to have very little card advantage in there. Like you don't have 16 cards in most Japanese card games. I don't know if the new Pokemon have gone down that route, but you don't have a lot of cards in a box. And I haven't opened those Japanese card games in over a decade, so don't quote me on it, but it reminds me of the old ones that I used to open anyway. Okay, so let's go. Let's start with the first one. First Epilogue Booster. Again, this is going to be fairly quick, but in case this is the first time that you're looking at our videos, we actually go in depth and read the cards and try and give you our opinion about them, or at least look at the art. So this is not going to be as quick as just raffling through the cards proper and just showing you what the hits are, but it's still going to be quick enough. So all right, so we start with Kolgan Warmonger. This is an interesting card. This is uncommon, so there are no commons in this set. There are some uncommons and then mostly rares and mythics. So Kolgan Warmonger has a 3/2 Ogre Warrior for 2 generic and 1 red. It has haste, and whenever it attacks, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them, put them in your hand, put the rest of the bottom of the library in any order. Very good for the Dragon Commander decks, but that's it. Mark of Baron, which is an uncommon, is a 2/2 Vampire Noble. For 2 generic 1 black, has Convoke. Lifelink, other vampires you control get +1/+1, and it has Madness. So this is a vampire tribe or tribal deck. Okay, first off, we get Nahiri Forged in Fury. 4 generic and 1 red and 1 white is a 5/4 affinity for equipment, so that's very good. And then whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost. Again, really good for equipment decks. I would reckon, again, commander decks, this is where you want to play it. Mark of Baron, the foil, normal. And then you get, actually this is a mythic, so let's put it here. Let's put the commons here. Let's put the foils here and the rares there. Then we get Reckless Handling, which is from Zendikar. It has the Zendikar Showcase border. So this is a sorcery. It's 1 generic and 1 red. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle, then discard a card at random. If an artifact card was discarded this way, this card deals 2 damage to each opponent. Again, commander card. Okay, and then you get the token incubator. So that's it. You get 5 purple cards and a token. That's it. That's that. So I don't really know too much about the set. As I said before, there are only 50 cards. So I'm hoping to see some nice ones. I think you could end up getting all the cards in the set very quickly if you open up a few boxes. So let's see how it goes. Now we have the Gold Force Thopteryx, which is a dinosaur Thopter. Okay, so it's an ornithopter made dinosaur. It's a 1/3 flying lifelink creature for 1 white, 1 blue. It's an artifact. And what does it do? Each legendary permanent control has War 2. Again, a very themed deck. And I would say commander. Undercity Upheaval, 1 generic and 2 green sorcery undergrowth. You distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. As you cast the spell, creatures you control gain vigilance until the end of turn. This is an oddball card to have. And then we get Paul and Asari, which is an interesting combo card or team up card. So this is a 5/4 orc Ifrit legendary creature for 3 generic and 2 red. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from any among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Interesting, but not great. So this is a rare. Let's do it that way. Put that there. Mark of Baron. Mark of Baron in the beautiful frame. I really, really love the frame. And new art. That's not bad. And then a dinosaur token. So I would reckon the comments, we're going to go through them real quick. If there aren't that many. So let's see how it goes. Okay, Campus Renovation is 3 generic, 1 red, 1 white sorcery. Return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of the next turn, you may play those cards. Okay. Copper Code Vanguard is a 2/2 human soldier for 1 generic and 1 white. Each human you control gets +1/+0 has ward 1. Again, this is a tribal thing. Maybe for some tribal decks or maybe for humans, but you know, the humans deck in Modern really has very, very heavy shoes to fill, and I don't think this is really good for that. Metropolis Reformer is an angel cleric. It's a 2/3 creature for 2 generic and 1 white. It has flying, it has vigilance, you have hexproof, and when this card is dealt damage, you gain that much life. This is very nice. It reminds me of an old card. I think it was a Defender Wall that absorbed damage, and you as much damage as you will receive, you get life back, and you could pry it, and then with a Mother of Runes or something like that, you could just save yourself and not receive any damage or get infinite life. I don't remember the combo, but that was a while back. Anyway. Colgan Warmonger foil. Then we get Copper Coat Vanguard, which is, you know, we've seen it before, but this is in the showcase version of it. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We got cut off and the camera just died on me for some reason. Anyway, we just opened the next booster pack, and we were just going through it. And yeah, so this is the first card. It's Mark of Baron. We've seen it before. And we get Tellarian Contempt, which is an enchantment for 3 generic and 2 blue. And when it enters the battlefield, you put a rejection counter on each creature your opponents control. At the beginning of your end step, for each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature they control with a rejection counter on it. And that creature's owner puts it at the top of their library, or bottom of their library. It's very much a commander card. All right, next up, another mythic, Calyx, Guided by Fate. As a 2/2 creature for 1 generic, 1 green, 1 white. It's a legendary enchantment creature, human druid. Has Constellation, and whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, so it can be itself. And when it or an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do this only once each turn. This is an enchantment engine. And then we get Feast of the Victorious Dead, which is 1 white and 1 black enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if one or more creatures die this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. Okay, so that was our foil. And then Feast of the Victorious Dead in the showcase version. Okay, I really like the showcase version. This one is pretty cool, actually. All right. Yeah, the showcase version so far seemed fun, but that's about it. The cards are, like I thought, mainly aimed at commanders, and that's it. Don't think there's much to say. Okay, Kogan Warmonger. Cosmic Rebirth is an instant for 1 generic, 1 green, 1 white. You choose target permanent card in your graveyard, and if it has mana value 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, you can put it into your hand. You may gain 3 life. Okay, and then we get a rare Tranquil Throwback, or ball sack, as I say. It's a dinosaur, 3/3 creature, and for 2 generic and 1 green. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay green up to 3 times, 1 green up to 3 times, and when you pay this cost 1 or more times, choose up to that many of the following options. So you destroy target artifact or enchantment, exile target player's graveyard, you gain 4 life. Nothing amazing. Rocco, Street Chef. Rocco's back. There he is, looking spiffy as always. All right, and this is strange. It looked a little bit bent. When is... Oh, yeah, okay, so that's why. I just saw that the boxes are printed in the United States, so they didn't even care to print this in Belgium as they do for European players usually. So yeah, the foils are starting to bend already. That's wonderful. Okay, anyway, let's get back to Rocco the Street Chef, who is a 2/4 legendary elf druid creature and comes in play for 1 red, 1 green, 1 white. At the beginning of your end step, each player exiles the top card of your library until your next end step. Each player may play that card they exile this way. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food token. Again, very politic heavy card. This is a foil. Don't really like it for anything else other than maybe commander, but I'm not a huge fan of politic cards. Let's put the rare here. Why not? All right, and now, okay, so this is Aftermath Smite. And it's a sorcery for 2 generic and 1 green. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalkers you don't control. This is a fight spell. It's not bad. Again, would make more sense in a standard set than in anything else at the moment. I don't know why it exists. But again, it has the retro frame because the Zalfir plane, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Now, next up, or Dominaria, I don't even know. I think it's Dominaria, but it's weird because Dominaria had a different frame before, so I think it's just Zalfir that gets this. Anyway, let's go on with Aftermath Smite, the normal version of the card. So, side by side. And also, for the previous ones, side by side. So, yeah, well, why not? Let's do that for no one. Aftermath Smite, Death Rattle Oni, which is a Demon Spirit creature. It's a 5/4 for 6 generic, 1 black. It has Flash, and this spell costs 2 less generic to cast for each creature that died this turn. And when it enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage this turn. Again, why does this card exist? Whatever. Piano Noir, Console of Revival, is a 2/3 legendary creature, human artificer for 1 red and 1 white. Thopters you control have haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Okay, this is for a Thopter-centric deck. That's a rare. And then we get Harness Snubhorn, which is a dinosaur foil, 2/5 creature for 3 generic, 1 white. It has vigilance, and when it deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. Then we get Blood Out, which is an instant for 2 generic and 1 black. It has the showcase for Kamigawa. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalkers they control with the greatest amount of value amongst creatures and planeswalkers they control. So this is kind of like an edict. All right, next up. Let's see. Okie dokie. Feast of the Victorious Dead. We've seen it before. Harness Snowborn. Oh, Training Grounds. Okay, so this is one of the better cards of the set, from what I remember. That's an enchantment for 1 blue. And it says that activated abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate, 2 generic less. This effect cannot reduce the mana in that costs 2 less than 1 mana. Not bad. Very, very good card. Very, very good card. Okay, Animus Might, of course, the foil version. And then we get Blood Out in the showcase and foil. And then a token. So at least we got 1 Training Grounds. Let's see here. We get Filter Out, which is an instant. It's 1 generic and 2 blue. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Again, this feels like it's a subsidiary set for Commander mostly. Blood Out, the non-showcase version. And of course, the showcase versions are really beautiful because they're very in theme. Rocco the Street Chef. Death Rattle Oni, foil, and then PNLR Console Revival, but this is the showcase version of PNLR. There you go. And then you get the token. Okie dokie. Up next. Well, we're almost done with the first half as well. Okay, Reckless Handling. We've seen this before. I think it was in, yep, it was the first one. It's just, again, it's not in the showcase, so the image is different. And then we get Goldforge Sopteryx. Yes. Oh, Karn Legacy Reforged. Okay, this is a mythic. Golem, legendary artifact creature for 5 generic, and it has star as power and toughness. And its power and toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Okay, so this is going straight up into my commander deck. At the beginning of your upkeep, add 1 generic mana for each artifact you control. This mana can be spent to cast non-artifact spells until the end of the turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Yeah, this is very, very good. But again, this is for commander. This is a subsidiary commander set. This is a very, very good card. Absolutely, I will play it in my Artifacts Urza deck, but yeah, whatever. Tolarian Contempt. It's off the back of you know, just 5 commander decks. I think people are getting a bit annoyed, you know. Okie dokie. We have Tolarian Contempt, which is an enchantment that we've seen before in the foil version, and then Campus Renovation. This is a nice little showcase version. So this is a sorcery for 3 generic, 1 red, 1 white. Return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Well, I mean, it's very decent. I guess you can return some stuff onto the battlefield and play some extra cards. Not bad, but again, odd. Okie dokie. I'm trying to understand the theme behind this set. I haven't really read the story as much, but it doesn't really feel very themed. Like, these cards just don't make sense. I will say that. Like, the uncommons don't make sense at all. Sorry about that, didn't mean to shake the camera. But yeah, the uncommons just don't make sense at all. Anyway, Undercity Upheaval, Campus Renovation. I mean, again, it makes sense because they renovated campus after the fight, but meh. Okay, then you have a land, Draneth Ruins, which is, well, tap to add 1 generic, or tap 2 generic and tap this to put 2 +1/+1 counters on target non-human creature that enter the battlefield this turn. Okay, not bad. And then we get Plarg and Nasari, foil, rare, and then we get Reckless Handling in the showcase. Okie dokie. All right, let's see. What do we get here? Mark of Baron, once more. Copper Code Vanguard. Spark Rupture. Okay, so this is the event. Because, by the way, spoilers. The whole thing happened, you know, with March of the Machine. And apparently, every Planeswalker in the known multiverse stabbed their toes in the dark at night. And now they've lost their spark. Don't know why, that did just lost their spark. Anyway, this is an enchantment, Spark Rapture, for 2 generic and 1 white. And when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Then each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power toughness equal to the number of loyalty counters on it. So this is gonna be really bad against against somebody who plays this if you have a lot of planeswalkers. So mainly for myself, I play an Atraxa Super Friends deck, and this is going to be really annoying. Then we get a Gold Force Thopteryx and foil, then Tolarian Contempt, and the Dominaria Borders Showcase version. So really beautiful. So yeah, I think that's Zalfir, the retro border. So that's really, really beautiful art. And then you get Random Runbreaker. Okie dokie. Next up. So far, I don't really see that much difference in the card versions. We have a collector's booster box and also a bundle to open. So we will be opening all of the other, the other two things that you can open for this set. So we will see the card versions there as well. Okay, the Vanguard, Content. Okay, this is Tazri, Star Wars Survivor, Human Warrior, 3/3. For 2 generic and 1 white. It's a legendary creature, and each creature you control has tap to add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. Spend this mana only to activate an ability of a creature. Activate only if this creature has another activated ability. Okay, this is very, very like if and only if. It's very restrictive. And then for Warburg, so each color of the color wheel, you tap it, you mill 5 cards, pull all creature cards with activated abilities that are mana abilities from among the mill cards into your hand. Not a good card, too expensive for what it does and very restrictive. Campus Renovation in foil, and then Campus Renovation in the showcase. Okie dokie, here we go. Undercity Upheaval, Campus Renovation. Open the Way. Okay, this is a sorcery for X and X generic and 2 green. X can be greater than the number of players in the game. Reveal cards from the top of the library until you reveal X line cards. Put those line cards onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. Okay, so maximum you get to look at top 4 cards and maybe put maximum 4 line cards tapped, but meh. And then again, this is a commander card. Filter out, foil. Okay, now we have the Jolrel Voice of Zalfir, which is the buy a box promo as well. This is in the Showcase Zalfir border. So it's the retro frame border, and God, I love the retro frame. I wish they did more cards with the retro frame. Anyway, what is this legendary creature? It's a 3/3 for 2 generic, 1 green, 1 blue. At the beginning of your combat turn, up to 1 target land you control becomes an XX green and blue bird creature with flying and haste until the end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. It's still a land, okay? And whenever a land creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Okay, this is, I guess, kind of something you can transform into a, maybe commander? It's interesting. It's a cool, fun mechanic, but again, it is a commander card, I guess. You can definitely pair it up with the Nissa that makes all the lands creatures as well. Okay, Cosmic Rebirth, Animus Smite, Ayar's Sworn, which is a human knight. That's a 2/2 menace, 1 generic and 1 black knight, so 2 for 2, not bad. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has exactly 4 counters, search your library for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Okay, not bad. I guess in a nice deck. Colgan Warmonger in foil, and Tolarian Contempt in the showcase, and then you get Teferi's Talent. That's really cool, the token. That's the first time I actually see that token. And oddly enough, the tokens are bent. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's because they're the last card in the pack. They're really bent. Okay, again, because this stuff was printed in the United States and not in Japan or in Belgium. Wizards of the Coast. And yet they charge full price for this stuff. It's a little bit disappointing. Fist of the Victorious Dead. Harness Snubhorn, Nashi, Moon's Legacy. This is a 3/4 legendary creature. It's a rat shaman for 1 black, 1 green, 1 blue. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target legendary or rat card from graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy commander card for a red deck. Feast of the Resource Dead foil, Harness Snubburn in the showcase, and that's it. So, okay, I don't know how many we've got left to go, but it's not that many. Let's see. Death Rattle Oni. Filter out. Whoop. The Canris Royal Funeral. Oh, okay, so they both died? Oh, that's sad. I didn't manage to catch up on the story entirely, so I don't know all the sides. So this is a legendary enchantment from 2 generic, 1 white and 1 black. Now, when it enters the battlefield, you exile up to 2 target legendary creature cards from your graveyard. You draw X cards, and you lose X life, where X is the greatest mana value amongst the exile this way. Legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card exile with the Canris Royal Funeral. Interesting. Not bad. I guess I'm, again, probably for commander. I don't even know if you can play anything else. Harness Snubhorn, foil. Oh, Death Rattle Oni in the showcase and foil. They're very beautiful, these showcases. Very, very beautiful. And then an elemental token. How many do we have? 7? No, this is 8. 8 packs left. Yeah, this is the first time I go through a booster box this quickly, especially something that's supposed to be kind of like a set booster box or a draft booster box. Who knows? Right, so Blood Out. Reckless Handling. Next up, Danitha, New Benalia's Light, which is a 2/2 human knight, legendary creature with 1 generic, 1 green and 1 white. Has Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink. Very good. And once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura or equipment spell from your graveyard. This is very good for the deck that wants to do exactly that. Absolutely. Ooh. Oh, this is nice. This is Nissa, and this is the Leyline Immersion foil. It's an enchantment aura for 3 generic and 1 green. You enchant a legendary creature, and enchanted creature has ward 2 generic, and tap to add 5 mana of any combination or color. Spend this mana only to cast spells. Wow. Oh, wow, that's good. That is a good rare. Now that is a good rare, just like Karn. Okay, then we get the showcase version of the Cold Forge Thopterix, which is not bad. And a token. That is a good card, but again, it's starting to bend a little bit. That's definitely noticeable. I can see it against the other cards. All right, Gold Forge Thopterix, side by side. All right, Undercity Upheaval, Flarg Nasari, Animus Might, foil, Death Rattle Oni. That's it. Yeah, this was rare. Sorry. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm guessing that, yeah, it was true that with a couple of boxes, you definitely get the full set if you're not trying to get every version of everything. Campus Renovation, Copper Code Vanguard, Metropolis Reformer, rare, Polarian Contempt foil, Metropolis Reformer, and the showcase version. Quite cute. And that's it. I mean, I would reckon there are a few more mythics that we haven't seen. Polarian Contempt, Marco Baron, Tranquil Frillback, Death Rattle Oni, foil, Undercity Upheaval, and the showcase version. And Incubator token. I don't know. It feels a little bit underwhelming, this set. I'm not gonna lie. Just, I don't know. It's not worth the money. You know, if this was maybe like half the price, maybe might be worth it. But you know, Kolgan Warmonger. Just get the cards, you know, that you like from here. It's gonna be easier. Cosmic Rebirth. Oh, there you go. Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. This is another mythic. It's a 4/5 legendary Merfolk noble creature for 3 generic and Simic, so 1 green and 1 blue. Has Vigilance, Ward 3, and whenever you cast Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, you look at the top X cards of your library. where X is the spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with that mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost, and put the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. So this is not a bad card. Again, very theme heavy, so Commander card for sure. Go for Softer X foil, Cosmic Rebirth. Okay. 3 more boosters to go. Okay, Harness Snubhorn, Filter Out, Canvas Royal Funeral, Campus Renovation Foil, Kolgan Warmonger, which is really, really cool. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Tarkir border. And, yep, Incubator. And 2 more boosters. Kind of underwhelming, I'm sorry. I'm just, I don't know. It loses all the fascination and the beauty that a set has for me. It's not bad. There are decent cards in here, but it's definitely not really worth it. Blot Out, Reckless Handling, Danatha, Spark Rupture Foil, rare, and Filter Out in the showcase version. Okay, and now last. Okie dokie. Filter Out, Reckless Handling, Jurina, Dauntless General. Okay, so this is a 2/2 human soldier legendary creature for 1 white and 1 black. When it enters the battlefield, you exile target player's graveyard and you sacrifice this card. Humans you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. So this is for the human deck. And Coppercore Vanguard Foil, Blot Out, and that's it. Okay, so to recap out of this, we've gotten 4 mythics, that one of which is actually pretty good on the Karn. The other ones aren't too bad. They're all very theme heavy. We've gotten a bit of rares. Nothing super amazing. I think this one is a very good rare. This one might be okay for trying to make a fun Commander deck because, you know, there's always an interest in that. And then the Training Grounds is the other one that's, I believe, really good. And then that's it. Then you get a bunch of showcase versions of cards. And yeah, that's it. So impressions. So impression-wise, you're looking at, I think, anywhere between 100 and something to 113, maybe 15 pounds for this kind of box. And it's not worth it. I'm sorry to say, it's just not worth it. There are 50 cards in this set, and realistically, you might just save up the money and buy one of each if you really are interested. If you absolutely must unbox it, I would keep a year to the ground, because I've already seen some places selling these products really cheap. As I've said before, to me, it's not a bad set for Commander players, and Commander players should look at this as more, okay, I have a couple of cards in the set. Which ones do I really like? And I will buy those, especially because this is not a master set. It's just an in-between set that doesn't really know what it's trying to do. And as I said, some of these uncommons here just don't make any sense. Others make sense on the fact that you're giving some cheaper options for players who don't have a lot of good Commander cards, or to do certain things that are synergistic with some of the other cards, but that's it. So that's it from us. I don't think it's worth it. I've seen already people trying to sell booster box at a cost of I think around 50 something pounds, depending on the stores, because they maybe went all overboard and pre-ordered too much of this. I wouldn't speculate too much on this product either. It doesn't seem like there are very great cards, and the few good ones that are here, just buy them. That's it. We will be opening a bundle of this, which are not super easy to find. Still, doesn't matter, the cards in it are still the same. And we will be opening a collector's booster box. So if you're interested in seeing what we get there, please tune in. Otherwise, just like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for all of our other videos. We still have commander boxes and commander analyses of how to upgrade those precon decks coming your way. And until then, we wish you a lovely day, a blessed day. We thank you. Be good, be kind, and we'll see you next time. Bye.